my very simple question today is this, that the government says, we are being honest. It's time to be honest with the people. My question is, let me put it to Rajeev Chandrasekhar, are they being honest overnight? No. Or is it driven out of a morbid fear of India bonds being declared as junk bonds by external credit rating agencies? Is it a newfound honestness? That's what I was driving at. Okay. Or is it a situation they have been compelled to deal with?
So Arnab, I've come in late into this. I'm catching the tail end of this debate. So beginning. Yeah, okay, beginning.
It's just starting.
So
it just started.
Okay, sorry. So let me say this. Let's be very clear. I don't think this is about openness and honesty as much as lack of options. I think the government really, frankly, had very little flexibility. Even if they wanted to be populist, they couldn't have been populist without breaking the bank, busting the bank. Point number one. I just want to make the point, and I think it's important that we realize this, that we have seen over the last few months the sharpest slide in the GDP ever since I can recall. I mean, I have never seen the economy go from 9% to 4.5% in the sharpest free fall. And it is for the first time that the Economic Survey of the Government of India actually accepts that the reasons for this slide has been almost, they haven't said it in so many words, but a flawed stimulus package and a stimulus strategy in 2008.
Absolutely right.
So,
right. Absolutely.
Populism did exist at some point in the past. We are paying essentially the price of that populism today. I don't think the government had very many options. I think the FM really had very few cards to play with, and he's played the best game that he could.
So don't make a virtue out of a necessity, is the argument. Mr. Munjal, let's get Mr.
Objection. Question is that government is a continuum. It is not that government goes into a hiatus after every general election. So therefore, when you plan for a country, you plan medium term or long term. Okay. You don't plan only for 1 year. Okay. So therefore, once you've taken an initiative, and you've made a budgetary provision in that, you expect government to stay the course.
Is there no urgency?
Well, there is an urgency. That's why you made a budgetary provision. That's exactly what you did with
you buy that
Green Revolution.
You buy that argument, Rajeev?
No, look, on this Women's Bank and the Nirbhaya Fund thing, I think while we can all accept the contention that the heart is in the right place and the feeling behind it is genuine, but I think there were smarter and much better ways of achieving this. Let's be very clear. We need not have started another bank. This is, at one end we are talking about disinvestment and getting the government to shrink and get less and less into the business of business. There could have been I would have given you half a dozen ways of achieving this objective without setting up a completely new superstructure of a new bank, new headquarters, all of the paraphernalia that comes along with it. When we talk about women's police station, we don't say there's a separate women's police force. We say there are women's only police stations. So you could have had various banks of State Bank of India and other PSU banks that were only staffed by women and only...
So it doesn't work for you?
So I think maybe the feeling, this is more of a reaction to the general sentiment that people are feeling today about, women needing more empowerment, but there could have been smarter ways of doing this.
Or it's strategy that you don't have the money to go for the big schemes. So you do small ones, which cost very little, may or may not have modalities set for them, you may never even spend any money for them, but which have good cosmetics.